What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about where to find big Maine bucks, and I've actually wanted to talk about this or make a video on this topic for quite a while now, but between wedding season and moving into this new house, I haven't really had the time, but I got time today, so that's what we're going to do. The studio is looking pretty sparse because I just moved in here, but we got a little table here, table there, we got a light on a cot, and we have a tripod, and so we're looking at something like that for today. So that should work. The studio isn't looking great, but hopefully you guys will enjoy the content. First I'm going to make an all natural energy drink, and then we'll jump right in. What's up YouTube, Jason Tome here, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about where to find big Maine bucks, and more specifically we're talking about where to find big-bodied bucks. Not so much mature deer, just kind of the science behind where those big-bodied bucks are. The gold standard here in Maine is to shoot a 200 plus pound buck, because that'll get you in the biggest bucks in Maine club, and you get a little patch that says biggest bucks in Maine, and it's just kind of a fun goal to strive for each season. But shooting a 200 pounder can be pretty difficult, especially if you don't know some of these concepts we're going to go over here in this video. So if you're looking to have more success shooting bigger deer, then stay tuned and we'll jump right in. Alright, so the most important thing to understand is how an animal's body size changes in relation to the climate that it's living in order to attain appropriate thermal regulation. And there's two concepts that I want to go over today that kind of describe what I'm talking about, and they're called Bergmann's rule and Allan's rule. And so we'll first start off by talking about Bergmann's rule. I also wrote a blog post on this topic, and I've got some diagrams in the blog post, so if you want to head over there and check that out. I'll also just throw them up on the screen here so you guys can see them, but the blog post just kind of goes into a little bit more detail than this video is, and I'll link that in the description below. Alright, so to summarize Bergmann's rule, basically what it's stating is that bigger animals will be found in colder climates. And the reason for this is because bigger animals have a lower surface area to volume ratio, and what that allows them to do is to retain heat a lot better. And so since they're able to retain heat a lot better with the bigger bodies, their ability to survive in those climates increases. And so over time, their bodies adapt, they get bigger, they can withstand those cold temperatures, and those genes are passed on to their offspring. For example, here in Maine, it's pretty rare to consistently shoot bucks over 200 pounds if you're in southern Maine. Bucks just don't grow to be that big very often. They're far and few between. It would take an incredible amount of work to be able to consistently shoot 200 pounders in southern Maine. But as soon as you start getting into that Jackman, Greenville, Bangor area, the temperatures are colder there on average, and that's when you start seeing those 200-pound bucks being shot a lot more consistently. There's definitely less deer up there than southern Maine, but those deer are bigger. Those deer are being shot 200, 220, 240, some 260s. It's probably getting pretty rare to shoot a 280 pounder, but then as soon as you get into the Allagash, which is quite a bit more north than Jackman, Bangor, and Greenville, you start seeing even bigger deer being shot. Like there was a 300 pounder shot a couple years ago. Last year there was at least a few 290 something pound bucks being shot, and you just really don't see those bucks being shot all that often down south in the Jackman, Greenville area. So there's definitely evidence that you can see that bigger bucks are found in those colder climates. Alright, so the next rule we're going to talk about is called Allan's rule, And basically what this rule states is that animals found in colder climates are going to be more rounded and compact, whereas animals in warmer climates are going to be taller and lankier. And basically this comes back to thermoregulation again, because those animals in warmer climates are able to dissipate heat a lot easier because they have a higher surface area to volume ratio, whereas those in colder climates are going to have a lower surface area to volume ratio, and they're able to retain heat better. This rule doesn't really have so much to do with weight, it just kind of has more to do with body form, and that's why you'll see those big hog looking bucks in those colder climates, is because they're more rounded and compact. So if we put Bergmann's rule and Allan's rule together, you should expect to see a bigger, heavier, more compact and rounded body type for whitetails in those colder climates of Maine. All right, so the next question you guys probably have is where the coldest places are in Maine. And basically there's 3 climate divisions, and I'll throw a photo of that up on the screen here. But basically there's the coastal, the southern interior, and the northern climate divisions, and those division lines run at a slant from west to east. And if you look at the blue on the screen, it's occurring sooner in the west, and then as you head more east, that line kind of starts heading more north. So that's basically what it's saying, is the northwest is one of the coldest places in Maine. As you continue east, you're going to have to head more north in order to stay in that northern climate division. But basically, if you stay in that northern climate division, you're going to have a much better chance of shooting a big Maine buck, especially one that's over 200 pounds. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is hunting pressure, because hunting pressure is definitely going to influence your ability to find big Maine bucks. Down here in southern Maine, there's quite a bit of hunting pressure. It's pretty hard to find 3.5 and 4.5 year old bucks, just because they're being shot before that age. I actually do quite a bit of hunting down here in southern Maine, and I like the challenge of trying to find those 3.5 and 4.5 year old bucks. But if you're trying to put the odds in your favor as much as possible, then I would definitely head more north. And more specifically in the colder climates, just because those deer are going to have the genes for bigger bodies, and there's going to be less hunters per acre. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm also going to do a video on when the whitetail rut is here in Maine, and the rut also has to do a lot with climate, so there's some similarities between this video and that video, so you might find that video interesting as well. If that sounds like something you'd want to watch, then hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified when it comes out. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.